Monza roll call was taken last weekend. The Down Under representatives were Allan, Moffat and John Harvey in a Brock-built, Moffat-owned, ANZ financed and Rothmans-sponsored VL Commodore.
Hey, welcome to another Heavy Metal Diecast video. Bathurst Edition? Well, sort of. The 1987 James Hardie 1000 saw the introduction of the Chase, which was a chicane on Conrod Straight after the death of Mike Bergman in the previous year's race. And this was a race that was also dominated by the Ford Sierras. So, but while this actual particular car, which is the VL Commodore SS Group A, driven by Allan, Moffat and John Harvey, it didn't actually race in Bathurst, or actually didn't even race in Australia. But this was supposed to be Peter Brock's 1987 season car, so it was supposed to be racing in Bathurst, but after the falling out between Peter Brock and Holden, it was sold off and bought by Allan Moffat. And as you can see, it's a pretty tidy rendition. So this is the Rothmans sponsored one, so no cigarette advertising, obviously. So hence why there's a lot of blank areas on this particular livery. But this actual car was then purchased by Moffat and taken into the World Touring Car Championship, and where it actually won its first race in Italy, which was the Monza 500. And Allan Moffat and John Harvey also drove this bad boy in the Spa 24-hour race in Belgium, where they came a very respectable 4th place. So this was driven around the world, but not in Australia at all. But I reckon it's still a very iconic vehicle within Australian motorsport, just for those successes around the world that it did have. But we'll get stuck into the actual model and less about the history. What do you reckon? So, well, as I said, this is made by Biante. It's 1/18 scale. We'll flip her over on the back here, and we will just have a little closer look at the details underneath here. And as you can see, it's like classic collectibles and auto art. It's got some fantastic detail. It's got all the exhaust. It's got the suspension details. The wheels do turn like the other ones. They do have that sort of rubber slight feel to them on these racing slicks, but it is definitely a nice looking unit. So we will have a look in and see what the back of this has, and inside you can see the details of the car there. It is very nice indeed. You can see all the braided lines, all the hoses and everything like that. It's got some fantastic detail. You can see the fuel cell. It's pretty cool. So what we'll do is we'll get this driver's door open and have a look on the inside. And look at that detail. It looks like the hose for the drinks and everything like that. The actual details inside the car itself are fantastic. It's got the padding on the roll cage. It's got that racing seat. It's got the harnesses, as you can see. All 4 doors do open on this vehicle, so we'll close that up. And we'll get to the important part, which is the heartbeat of these cars. So we'll try and get this open and have a little look in there. And as you can see, it's got some great detail. We'll get some closer look in there. But that detail in there is fantastic. It's got some great, all the braided lines and everything. It's even got the little strut for the bonnet as well, which is pretty cool. Just push that away with my sausage fingers. But you can see that detail on the engine and everything like that, all the leads. It's awesome. It is really well prepared. I think this is another fantastic rendition, and one that you'll definitely, won't be disappointed with at all. So we'll close that back down, and we'll have a little look on the passenger side. And as you can see, it's got some nice livery details on the side. And as I said, normally there'd be like Rothmans along here and on the bonnet and everything. But unfortunately, with the sort of the bans on cigarette advertising and everything, some of these vehicles that did have tobacco sponsorship do have those missing decals on their livery. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but that's the way it is. But I think it's still, really cool looking rendition. So yeah, I reckon it's not a bad bit of kit, as I like to say, but if you can get your hands on one of these bad boys, it's cool. I think it's a good rendition of a 1987 Commodore. So once again, this is by Biante. It is 1/18 scale. It is the Commodore SS Group A, as driven by Allan, Moffat and John Harvey in the World Touring Car Championship during the 1987 season. So, you know the deal. What I'll do is I'll take some stills of this bad boy without the sausage fingers in the way, and you can check out this beast in all its glory. If you can afford the chance, give us a little bit of a like. That'd be awesome. And why not even subscribe to the channel? That'd be fantastic as well if you can. All right, guys, thank you so much for spending the time with me today, and you have a great rest of your day. Cheers, guys.
The Aussie Challenge received its only setback when Moffat coasted into the pits. His Rothmans Commodore bone dry.